Happy New Year to you. Nathan Quao here. And in the year 2017, the footballing world will be focused on Africa. Why? Because the 31st African Nations Cup tournament will start on the 14th of this month and on the 5th of February in the beautiful country of Gabon. We break the groups down right here. 16 teams, 4 groups. We figure out which team will make the final. Can Cote d'Ivoire win the tournament again? Or can Ghana finally break the 35-year wait and become the next African Cup champions? Welcome to the Citi Sports AFCON Digest. We chart our way through the 2017 African Nations Cup tournament in Gabon. 4 cities, 4 groups, 16 teams. We'll find out who will emerge as the best team in Africa for the year 2017. So, like I said, we'll be breaking down all the groups, and Benjamin Nketsia joins me for this very first episode. Ben, thank you very much for joining us. Let's start off with groups A and B. We've got 8 very exciting teams. We zone in on Group A first. They are in Libreville. There's the host Gabon, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, and the new boys, Guinea-Bissau. It's quite interesting looking at the combination though, but it should be an exciting group.
Well, you immediately get the sense that Burkina Faso will be, I think, the strongest team in that group. Never mind the host nation. I think that they have their own star players. They are a well-coached team as well. These days they get tutelage from experienced Spanish manager Jose Antonio Camacho. So it should be a competitive group. But Guinea-Bissau, I think they will suffer in this group. Largely because they are one of the few teams who have very little AFCON experience attached to their name. Also one of the few teams with a local based coach in the side. So, I mean, I look at them, they don't have a lot of tournament experience. You can't speak of a lot of big name players. And obviously, I mean, for a team like them, not a lot of people will be supporting them to start with. So it's about the whipping boys mentality. Would they go ahead to be able to overcome it, or will they be the whipping boys we expect them to be? As for Gabon, you immediately want to look at their key players and their influence on this team and how this team will fare with them. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I think that immediately he jumps out at you because of what he's done at this tournament in prior editions. But again, you want to look at the understated heroes in this team. Juventus' Mario Lemina. He is one who a lot of the eyes on the continent have not yet seen. And I feel that this is a time for him to possibly stake a claim for himself in the continent and also put himself in the plans for club football on a regular basis when he gets back. So there's a lot to do for Lemina out there as an individual, but of course Aubameyang will be the torchbearer. We'll see. Now there's Cameroon, we've not mentioned. They've had their own problems. So 8 of their players won't turn up, led by Joao Matip of Liverpool. He's staying with his club side in England. How are they going to overcome that? Of course, there's Jacques Zoua, former under-20 international. There's Mukanjo, who's leading this team. Of course, the leading light now happens to be Vincent Aboubakar. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Vincent Aboubakar. They do have quite a number of enterprising players in there. Look at former Tottenham Hotspur product Clinton Inje. I think that he's exciting. Yeah. He's one for the wings. He's one for the African continent. I mean, we always seem to overlook certain players just because they don't get regular playing time for their club sides. But for the national team, it's a different ball game altogether. And I think that Cameroon will always be Cameroon. It will be a reliance on physicality. They won't look too much at star names or star players these days. But again, Vincent Aboubakar, I feel, is a very, very underrated striker on the continent. Strong, pacey, finishes with power. That is, he can hold off defenders. Porto now, Besiktas, the goals have been varied, and he scored different kinds, and his approach is absolutely fantastic. Which 2 teams will make it out of this group? I think that Gabon and also Burkina Faso will make it out of this group. Cameroon appear strong enough, but they've been sort of limping through the AFCON in recent times. Nothing like the Cameroon we used to know in the early millennium. So I feel that a lot of their star players dropping out might not necessarily lead to them playing badly, but I feel that it will be that lacking factor that they need to get over the line. So let's get on to Group B. Group B are in Franceville, and Group B has an interesting mix. So there's Algeria, Tunisia, Senegal, and Zimbabwe. So you have teams spread across the African continent. 2 North African teams, 1 West African, 1 South African. It should get really complex. Let's look at the 2 North African teams first, Algeria and Tunisia. They come in with a lot of pressure on their heads. Well, let's talk about Algeria first because they are a curious case. I feel that they've underwhelmed so far. I mean, looking at the sort of talent and potential they have, they almost have selection issues when they have to pick team for the AFCON, and that's how bad the situation is. For George Leekins, I am one who is not necessarily a fan of the style of football that he plays, but I mean, he's been brought in to take care of the situation as it stands now. Remember that the Algerian national team, as it was in the hands of a man we all know very, very well, but due to some very irregular selection issues,
Milovan Rajiv had all kinds of problems.
He had to be done away with. And Joy Leakins comes into this team just before a competition of this nature.
What should Leakins do? Should he play Mr. Nice Guy to get the players to deliver? Or he should be tough on these guys and extract the best out of them?
Well, the problem with this Algerian team is, regardless of what you do as a manager, somebody is going to have a problem. Because, like I'm saying, there's so much talent that you have, for every position, a player feeling as if I am the better candidate for this position.
Let's look at Tunisia, Senegal and Zimbabwe. Three very interesting teams. The Tunisians come into this tournament with a lot of great history, but in recent years they fumbled and they've not discovered how to get back to, say, winning the tournament like they did in 2004.
Well, it's a weird team that Tunisia have. I feel as if they have also lost a lot of star names over the past couple of years.
And bringing up people like Youssef Msakni.
Youssef Msakni is exciting, but largely speaking, that's all he's been over the past few AFCONs I've seen him. He's exciting, but his excitement tends to bring very little end product, and that's what Tunisia seem to lack. They've been very blunt in the past couple of games you've seen them in. They always play interesting football, they'll play exciting football, they'll put nice passes together, but to what extent? And I feel that the counterparts they have in this group have more end product to their game than Tunisia do, and that's basically will be their undoing. You look at what they have in manager Henry Kasprzak. I feel that he's experienced, he's pretty knowledgeable on the African continent. This is a team I feel will have to rely more on the intelligence of their manager and his ability to read game-to-game situations
rather than
to get
the
them
players
over
on
the
the pitch.
line.
So what about Senegal? They have an interesting group, lots of talent, possibly the most talented team in this tournament, but they've also had problems succeeding since 2002.
Well, believe it or not, I think Senegal have the best team on the continent, and they have the best team in the AFCON. I mean, I look at guys like Cheick Mbenga, you look at guys like Sekou Kouyate, Sadio Mane. I mean,
Henri Saivet.
They have talent everywhere. They are possibly one of those guys who also have a headache selecting a starting 11 for this squad. And they are ruthless when they get in their rhythm. The problem with Senegal is a lot of the time they seem not to be able to play as a team. I mean, there's a lot of individual clamor for glory.
They kind of play like a North African team who
Exactly.
seem to have individuals
Exactly.
on the pitch and never a team.
They sort of have a similar problem to what Algeria have. And also for players like Sadio Mane. Obviously, he's the biggest fish in the Senegal team as things stand now. But he is yet to stamp his authority on the Senegal team as well. So for him, it's a statement time. You need to go out there and show fans that you've done it for Liverpool. You can do it for your national team. But again, Senegal have also underwhelmed in the competition for a while now. They were in the finals in 2002. One of the few sides also coached by a former player, local-based coach, Aliou Cisse. So he knows all about what it takes to get a team to a final. In the last AFCON, I felt as if there was a lot of background issues disturbing their chemistry. This time around, I believe that they've sorted out all those things. Players should have more chemistry in camp. They have more star players. They have players who can take over games single-handedly, and most importantly, a local manager who understands what it means to get.
Because finally, the odd team in the group, Zimbabwe, and they've had their own drama. Players fighting over bonuses, appearance fee, per diem. But at least now, you look at this team and you look at the one from 2006, they have a bit more quality. Willard Katsande of Kaizer Chiefs, of course, one of the best players in Africa, Kama Beliat. Those two will be important, but you get the sense Zimbabwe will have a very challenging AFCON.
And you get the sense that they will concede a lot of goals. That's what you must be truthful about. Again, local manager. I mean, I do commend the guys who have come in with local managers. Kalisto Pasua will have a heck of a task on his hand.
So they have to be dealing with player rows over bonuses.
Exactly my point. And you get the sense that Zimbabwe already have their heads in the wrong place before the competition even kicks off. And that's the major reason why I feel like they will concede a lot of goals, because half the time these guys will be thinking about money. Half the time they will be thinking about logistics that do not make their stay in Gabon a comfortable one. And so you get the sense that if you have 50% of your head in the competition, you are going to get 50% results. That's exactly what it was going to be with Zimbabwe. I mean, even coming in with proper preparations, possibly an experienced manager and all, they were still going to be the underdogs in this group. Now they even have a taller task of background and unwanted issues to deal with. It will be a tall one.
Which two teams make it out of this group?
Senegal should definitely make it. Algeria should make it.
Senegal and Algeria. Interesting. So what do you make of groups A and B? Send us your thoughts. Put them in the comment section below this video as we start off the journey through the AFCON 2017 in Gabon. It's the first episode of the Citi Sports AFCON Digest. We take you through from now to the 5th of February, and maybe the Black Stars win the African Cup. Maybe Cote d'Ivoire wins. Maybe Zimbabwe. Maybe Tunisia. Maybe Algeria for the first time since 1990. Benjamin Nketsia join me. My name is Nathan Quao. We have you covered. It's the AFCON Digest here on Citi TV.